Now 7, the latest from the race to the White House and what the candidates are doing to secure voters. Plus, Jacob is in this morning with a check of your forecast. Got more sun to close out the weekend. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Weekend Mornings. It is Sunday, August 18th. I'm Kyle Pazorski. Let's begin by taking a look outside. Jacob is in for your Sunday forecast, like I said. And Jacob, I saw on the website, channel3000.com, by the way, it says we're going to have more sun to end the day. That's a good news, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to have more sun, not just today, but really the entire week.
We've had rain all summer.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a very quiet pattern going forward. Temperatures right now are also very comfortable, a little bit cooler compared to yesterday morning, but still above average what we normally see during the morning for this time of the year. So 66 degrees right now in Madison, partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies in Madison, but taking a look outside in Platteville, almost complete sunshine there. So the clouds are mostly concentrated for Madison and points south and east of that, because it's also pretty sunny right now in La Crosse as well. So 60s across the board. A few locations may be in the upper 50s, but still a little bit above average for this time of the year during the morning. But still a very comfortable morning nonetheless. And as we look at the forecast for the afternoon, we are going to continue to see partly sunny skies. Highs will be in the upper 70s to lower 80s. Winds will only be maxing out at around 10 miles per hour, so the winds aren't going to be too much of a factor. So it may get a little bit warm at times with the sun shining and highs near 80, but pretty close to average for this time of the year. Highs will be right around 80 for La Crosse as well. Now, temperatures aren't going to be quite as warm for the rest of the week, but we are going to remain sunny. I'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit.
All right, Jacob, thank you. We will check back in just a bit. Top in our news this morning, a person has been arrested following a two-vehicle traffic accident in Janesville. It happened Saturday morning. Janesville police provided an update this morning saying they are investigating the crash as a homicide by intoxicated use of a motor vehicle. They say the driver of a vehicle failed to stop at a red light on Delavan Drive, striking another traveling north on Beloit Avenue. Both people in the second vehicle driving north were pronounced dead on the scene. Janesville police say the driver of the first vehicle was arrested after failing field sobriety tests. The investigation is now ongoing. In Madison, some protesters are working to make their concerns heard ahead of the Democratic National Convention on the state capitol grounds Saturday, a sort of preview of a protest that's expected to take place at the DNC tomorrow. March on the DNC, composed of nearly 100 different organizations, is demanding an end to U.S. aid to Israel, along with other requests.
I know people who are going to participate as delegates. I know people who are going there as protesters. People who are, participating in the civic process.
Speakers on Saturday also expressed their frustration with the Harris campaign, saying her participation in online trends is not enough to win their vote. We are now 79 days away from Election Day. Former President Donald Trump yesterday held a rally in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, while Vice President Kamala Harris is starting a bus tour of the state today. As CBS's Christian Benvenides reports, this is all coming on the eve of the week's Democratic National Convention.
At a rally in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania Saturday, former President Donald Trump escalated his personal attacks against Vice President Kamala Harris, even as he tried to stay on the topic of the economy.
I'm a better looking person than Kamala. I'm better looking than she is. In her speech yesterday, Kamala went full communist.
Trump is responding to Harris, outlining for the first time her economic policy proposals in North Carolina Friday, among the many battleground states where the race is tightening. Harris's running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, campaigning Saturday in Nebraska, where he was born, touted the campaign's new plan.
Lowering the cost of rent and the opportunity to own your own home. Vice President Harris rolled out a plan to start building an opportunity economy during our first 100 days in office. Cutting taxes, not for the billionaires, but for the folks in this room in the middle class.
Housing affordability and a proposed federal ban on price gouging among the proposals.
She says she's going to lower the cost of food and housing starting on day one. But day one for Kamala was 3.5 years ago.
The vice president has been riding a wave of newfound enthusiasm among Democrats. She'll kick off a bus tour of Western Pennsylvania today ahead of the Democratic National Convention, set to kick off in Chicago tomorrow. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
Additionally, last night's rally in Pennsylvania was Trump's second in the state since his assassination attempt there last month. Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is trying to get his name on more state ballots for the fall election. His campaign submitted signatures to gain ballot access in 3 more states. They include Arizona, Alabama, and Montana. The campaign announced Friday it submitted 110,000 signatures to election officials in Arizona. Independent candidates need just 42,000 to qualify in that state. Kennedy is currently on the ballot in 19 others. Some more local news. Saturday marked the start of Madison Housing Week. The Madison Housing Coalition is hosting a series of events between now and Thursday, all aimed at raising awareness for housing needs and issues in Madison. The capital city has a vacancy rate of 3.5%, which is below what a healthy rate for cities would be, making housing expensive and hard to find.
Right now we see the crisis is affordability and supply, and they kind of go hand in hand. You know, it's economics 101. But you know, what's creating that crisis is a broad different way. The way they're financed, the way our local zoning and what allows and what's been allowed since World War II, and then what options there are for people to move into. And so we're seeing a perfect storm.
Yesterday, organizers hosted a walking tour of some of Madison's most iconic and thriving neighborhoods. Today's event is a presentation on how things like zoning, building codes, financing, and other barriers play a part in Madison's housing crisis. You can find a list of all the events online at madisonhousingweek.com. Some other local news. Madison's Goodman Pool is back open following a multi-day closure this past week. It was on Tuesday when a guest brought a 3-inch long piece of glass in the shallow end pool to a lifeguard. That caused pool management to have to close the entire pool while they drained part of it, as well as hand swept and vacuumed the entirety of the pool just to be safe. They got the all clear to open back up Saturday morning for normal hours, and the pool is now scheduled to officially close later on this month on Sunday, August 25th. And the Sun Prairie Sweet Corn Festival is in full swing this weekend. You still have all day today to head out and get some fresh steamed sweet corn. You can also find plenty of family-friendly activities like music and other fun. They'll be serving up some steamed sweet corn all day from noon until 6 or until the supplies last. We are coming up on 7:08. Still ahead, a Hurricane Ernesto. Have you heard about it? Well, it continues to trek into the Atlantic. We'll take a look at the impact it is having. And let's take a live look outside of the Capitol here in Madison. Jacob will have the full forecast next on Weekend Mornings.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
What would you think of a man who builds homes to rescue children from abandonment, sex trafficking, and slavery?
An employer who does charitable work alongside us and pays for us to go around the world helping kids in need.
He helps single moms in Wisconsin,
Funds food banks here,
and fights sex trafficking across America.
That man is my husband, Eric, and he'll fight for you, just like he fights for them.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Energy is like a symphony. Every note, every chord, every instrument creates an incredible melody of power and possibility. But that energy needs to be reliable to have the same power, and affordable to keep the melody. At home, on the road, on farms and fleets, and even ports. Propane and renewable propane lower carbon emissions while harnessing the full symphony of energy. Learn more about safe, clean, reliable propane at propane.com.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. Amazing offers and a great selection of Ford vehicles, like the Built Wild Bronco family, with a deal you just can't miss. Your biggest adventures are waiting. So make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. I want that. Make it a lease on a new Ford Bronco Sport for $299 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Wisconsin Ford dealer.
Hi there. Brad Beasley and my daughter Marlene are here for Tundraland.
It's back to school time, and together we can help Wisconsin kids in need.
We call it Bath to Backpack.
With your help, Tundraland will donate 1 backpack filled with school supplies to a local student for every appointment this month.
And for a limited time, you get free installation, no payments for a full year, and free upgraded fixtures.
We all win.
Call 1-800-TUNDRALAND or go to tundraland.com today.
800-TUNDRALAND. Tundraland.com. Millions of small businesses choose Spectrum Business, and each one is unique. But there is something you all have in common. You're tough, made to take it all on. That's why Spectrum Business is made to work, made to help you power through it all with reliable connectivity. That means fast internet, business phone, TV, and mobile solutions. Small businesses are made to keep on going, which is why Spectrum Business is made to work. Get Spectrum One for Business, one advanced connectivity solution for only $49.99 per month.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
Good morning, everybody. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. We are going to see very little rainfall this week. And as far as temperatures, they're going to be comfortable for the middle of the week, but warmer temperatures are expected by next weekend. So let's take a look at that forecast for today again. Upper 70s, lower 80s for much of our area. We'll see partly sunny to mostly sunny skies across the region. So it will be sunnier and a bit warmer compared to yesterday. Now looking at the overnight forecast, lows will be dropping into the 50s for much of the area, so it is going to be a little bit cooler compared to this morning, but we are going to see mostly clear skies, and for the most part we'll continue to see sunshine for Monday. May see a few clouds here and there, but still going to see dry weather for certainty. But we are going to see those temperatures a little bit cooler for southern Wisconsin as well. 70s for Madison as well as Milwaukee, but the further northwest you go, 80s are still in the forecast for you folks in La Crosse and up north towards Eau Claire. Now as far as rainfall goes, as I've been talking about, we are going to see very little of it, so I'm just going to let Futurecast go throughout the entire week. You can see you can't completely rule out an isolated shower, but in terms of widespread and likely rainfall, we're not going to see any of that. Just a few isolated showers here and there, but for the most part, just on and off cloud cover for the rest of the week. The next best chance of rainfall will be Saturday, especially during the morning hours, but even this line of rain, very small and likely not going to last very long. So enjoy the dry weather, and here's a look at the precipitation forecast for the next 7 days. Southern Wisconsin has just about nothing, and even La Crosse and Eau Claire only going to see about 1/10 of an inch at most. Now the dry weather is expected to continue even beyond the next 7 days. This is the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. We're going to see dry weather, especially to the south of Madison, but it looks like much of Wisconsin will remain dry during that time period. And as I've been talking about, temperatures are going to be comfortable, especially for the middle of the week. We'll see highs in the 70s for several straight days, but 80s are back in the forecast for next weekend, especially for the beginning of next week. But it does look like temperatures may begin to fall after about next Monday. And if they do continue to fall, we could see a pretty quiet and comfortable Labor Day. But obviously that's still 2 weeks out, so a lot could change between now and then. But for the next 10 days, dry weather, comfortable temperatures this week, a little bit warmer for next weekend. La Crosse may get to 90 by next Sunday, but Madison, a little bit higher humidity, may stay in the 80s, especially as you get closer to Lake Michigan, likely going to stay in the 80s then. But that's still several days out. A lot could change between now and then, but it does look like the temperatures will be warmer. But as far as this week, 80s today, but then 70s really for Monday through Thursday before 80s return Friday. And for the most part, we're going to continue to see plenty of sunshine.
Jacob, thank you. Well, we are going to see some sunshine. Hurricane Ernesto is delivering a blow to Bermuda and is ramping up coastal danger for much of the United States' eastern seaboard after it thrashed Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, leaving hundreds of thousands of people without power. The hurricane made landfall on Bermuda early Saturday as a Category 1 storm with sustained wind speeds of 85 miles per hour and gusts at 105, according to the National Hurricane Center. Rob Kirkpatrick has the details.
Ernesto slammed into Bermuda as a Category 1 hurricane early Saturday morning. Heavy rain and wind gusts of up to 105 miles per hour hammered the island. Officials warned parts of Bermuda could experience life-threatening flash flooding this weekend. And some areas could see as much as 15 inches of rain on Saturday.
They already got a month's worth of rain in Bermuda with that rainfall over 6, even getting close to 7 inches in some locations, and their average for the entire month is 5 inches.
Ernesto wreaked havoc over Puerto Rico earlier this week, leaving hundreds of thousands of people without power.
This has been really hard. This is hard for us in our daily lives and for those of us who have businesses.
The hurricane is stirring up dangerous beach conditions along the eastern seaboard of the United States. More than 18 million people are under alerts with high surf and dangerous rip currents stretching from Florida to Maine. Officials say 2 men drowned at separate beaches on Hilton Head Island in South Carolina Friday. And this house along the North Carolina coast came crashing down into the sea. Ernesto is forecast to remain a Category 1 hurricane as it moves out further into the Atlantic Ocean over the weekend. I'm Rob Kirkpatrick reporting.
Elsewhere, protesters in support of the Venezuelan opposition once again took to the streets of the capital Caracas on Saturday. The group's leader continued to claim the victory of her candidate, Edmundo Gonzalez, against the current president, Nicolas Maduro, during the presidential elections that took place in July. In front of a tide of demonstrators carrying Venezuelan flags, Mercado could be seen waving to thousands of people who followed her, shouting, "Freedom, freedom." Here in the U.S., George Santos is expected to plead guilty to charges stemming from allegations of fraud. A person familiar with the matter confirmed to CBS News in New York. Santos, the former New York congressman, Republican, is expected to enter a plea in federal court Monday in Central Islip, New York. He was expelled from the House of Representatives last year and previously pleaded not guilty to 23 federal charges alleging fraud, including misusing campaign funds. Louisiana is looking to give away several closed bridges along a stretch of US 90 that connects the state with Mississippi. The bridges have been closed for more than 2 years due to structural issues. David Jones spoke with residents in one small Mississippi community who say they have been struggling as a result of that closure.
Pearlington is a small town of about 1,000 families, and it's reducing every day.
Coming off the pandemic, Pearlington was hit again in 2022.
Due to that closure, we have experienced a major loss of business.
So was Michael Mavanyengwa's business.
We've lost probably 50% to 75% of our business.
The dramatic loss in revenue came with the closure of the Highway 90 bridges in May 2022 due to them being declared structurally unsound. The 4 bridges are one of 2 eastbound routes out of New Orleans, a connection between Louisiana and Mississippi's Gulf Coast, shut off.
The income we are having and the profits we are having cannot sustain maintaining the pumps and paying all the bills we need to pay. If it's 2022 to 28, that's almost 6 years just for a bridge to be built or a highway to start running. But what is dying for me, my business is dying.
Now, the state is looking to give the 1930s era bridges away to any entity who can remove and repurpose them.
We need to get these bridges removed from our waterways. If they're not going to be fixed, if they cannot be reconditioned, we cannot just leave them out there in the water. These are protected environmental waters.
Daniel Gitlin is with the DOTD.
The idea is, can we give these structures, more life? Can they still be a part of our community?
He says they are in the environmental studies phase of replacing the bridges. A March estimate put the cost at around $300 million.
This may be an opportunity for local governments, maybe St. Tammany or some of the cities down there, to say, hey, we would like to relocate this to a public park. The state will not only give the bridges away, but they will also pay for the cost, basically, of what it would take.
Gitlin says the state hears the outcry from communities impacted by the closures and drivers who are used to taking 90. But he says patch repairs would have only extended the lifespan of the structures by a couple years.
Let's give them credit. 90 years old. Every structure has a limit, and those bridges have had, withstood hurricanes and trips back and forth.
But in Pearlington, the loss of the bridges remains the talk of the town, as well as hope they'll be replaced. For now, the prospect seems a ways away.
We feel like we are American, like everybody else, and pay taxes. And we are here trying to survive the way we want to live.
Jalen Banks, News 3 Now at 6 and 10, weekends moving forward.
Looking to buy or sell? Call Tommy Van Ness Realty, First Weber's #1 team, dedicated to making your real estate dreams a reality.
At Tommy Van Ness Realty, we understand that buying or selling a home is more than just a transaction. It's about finding the perfect match for your lifestyle.
Trust Tommy Van Ness Realty for all of your real estate needs.
Why settle for less? Call Tommy Van Ness.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you.
Get 1.9% financing on this 2024 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Or get $5,750 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Champion's Big Window Sale is back.
Do you have ugly, hard-to-open, drafty windows? Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows, because when you buy 2, you get 2 free. Buy 2 Champion windows, get 2 free? I guess that means if you buy 4, you get 4 free. Buy 6, get 6 free. Buy 10, get 10 free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy 2, Get 2 free sale is for a limited time.
Great job, everybody. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Don't let an appliance breakdown break you down. Shop Brothers Main's super in-stock selection from brands like GE Appliances with support stirred into every purchase. Whether replacing or remodeling, we've got you covered. Brothers Main, feel like family.
When you donate furniture, cabinets, and appliances to Habitat Restore, you make an impact on neighbors in your community. Profits generated from Restore sales help provide safe and secure housing for hardworking families across Dane County. Donate to make a difference today.
Morgan Murphy Media's Madison area affiliates are expanding our community outreach efforts to attract a more diverse pool of candidates to fill current and future job vacancies. Your local organization is encouraged to assist in this effort by referring qualified applicants. If you wish to be notified of employment opportunities at Morgan Murphy Media, please contact the Director of Human Resources in writing or via email, or check current job listings by logging on to channel3000.com/jobs.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, as I've been talking about, the rainfall this week is going to be very minimal. And looking at the rainfall chances, we are pretty much going to remain dry with nothing other than a passing shower here or there. Next slight chance of rain that will be a little bit higher than the rest of the work week will be Saturday, but again, we are expecting to be dry for that time as well. And also, like I mentioned earlier, we could afford this little bit of a break from rainfall. Now, for this month, we've been a little bit below average, but not too much below average. However, looking at the year, we are nearly 10 inches above average in precipitation, and a lot of that has to do with just this past month of July in terms of why we're so above average. So, like I said, we definitely could afford a little bit of a break from the rainfall. Now, as far as temperatures, at least for August so far, we actually are just a little bit below average, but overall very close to it. We may continue to be below average over the next week, but with the warmer temperatures we're expecting next weekend, the August temperatures this year may start to creep up back above average.
After 2 weeks in Platteville and another week back here in Madison, fall camp is starting to wind down for Wisconsin football for the most part. Less than 2 weeks out from their Week 1 matchup with Western Michigan, Wisconsin is shifting away from live action practice and shifting to a more mental approach, getting their bodies and minds right for a long season ahead.
This was probably one of the last days where we could really, truly
kind of get after it in a way that we would like to before we find out on the 30th what we really got. So it doesn't mean we're done. It doesn't mean camp is over. I mean, there's a different mode here as we move forward. I think we're in a really good place. I think that it's a little bit unique now to say, okay, we got to continue to work. We got to continue to do the things we need to do, but we also need to get ourselves healthy. We need to try to find a way to get our legs and our minds back.
To the NFL preseason, where Muma Jungmeta has been eating. After going undrafted out of Wisconsin, the Bengals picked him up as an undrafted free agent, and he may just be there to stay. His 10 tackles led Cincy in week 1 of the preseason, and yesterday in week 2, he collected another 8 tackles, again leading the team. As for the Packers, ahead of their second preseason game, which is tonight, they got to Denver a few days earlier to join the Broncos in a joint practice. As you can imagine, when you're practicing against your own team every single day, not only can things get mundane, but also you can fall into bad habits. The Pack say practicing with the Broncos helped them get more into season mode, just like today's game will.
Facing another team allows you to kind of see where your confidence levels are, kind of see how you can gauge your opponent. And it's also somebody else to go against, instead of going against our offense every day.
Some other faces, going up against some good competition, always want to do your best against, somebody else after seeing your same offense for a long time. So it was fun, being able to just run around, see a different look, and make plays.
And we end with this. Patrick Mahomes in NFL preseason action yesterday. He's just doing his thing. A behind-the-back pass to Travis Kelce. Are you kidding me? Afterwards, Mahomes says that Kelce ran the wrong route, so out of spite, he threw it behind his back to him. And we'll just come right back out on camera to talk to you about the final block. That is your morning sports fix. The Brewers won last night, by the way, but for now, we tell you to have a wonderful end to your weekend.
Thank you, Andrew. There's still a half-hour news ahead here on Weekend Mornings. Next, we're going to run through the morning's top stories. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Steve Bozeman from Steve's Auto Sales, home of the $49.99 sale. Pop the top, it's summertime. At Steve's Auto Sales, we've got your ATV. Steve has the fast Jeeps. Need to carry a ladder? We've got work trucks. Easy finance at Steve's Auto Sales. Just bring your pay stubs and bank statement. Steve's Auto Sales, the best deals in Madison. Search for Steve's on your phone right now.
Make your weekends unforgettable with help from Menards. Whether you're soaking up the sun or relaxing indoors, we have what you need for a good time. From creating the perfect place to entertain family and friends to stocking up on your favorite essentials, Menards is your one-stop shop for your next adventure. Check out all the hot deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Maya knows how quality care can bring out a smile. But it's been a few dog years since she was able to enjoy a smile of her own. Good thing Aspen Dental offers affordable, complete care all in one place. With flexible hours and weekend appointments. Plus 20% off treatment plans for everyone. Loving our patients unconditionally. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
Come and get your love.
Kamala Harris has spent decades fighting violent crime. As a border state prosecutor, she took on drug cartels and jailed gang members for smuggling weapons and drugs across the border. As vice president, she backed the toughest border control bill in decades. And as president, she will hire thousands more border agents and crack down on fentanyl and human trafficking. Fixing the border is tough. So is Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Chicago hosts the Democratic National Convention, and News 3 Now will be there.
We'll bring you live team coverage all week as the Democratic Party takes center stage in the Windy City, rallying around their presidential ticket. Plus, we'll talk to delegates about the issues that matter most to voters here in Wisconsin. Campaign 2024 coverage live from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Starting Monday on News 3 Now, moving forward.
Right now, pro-Palestine protesters take to the Capitol Square. Coming up, we have the message that they have to Democrats. Plus, a Milwaukee teen beats a woman and steals her car from a hospital parking garage, and how it's not the first time. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Weekend Mornings as we wrap up this final half hour here. I'm Kyle Pazorski. Let's begin by taking a look outside. Jacob is here with what you need to know. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, Kyle. And we are seeing a very nice morning once again. Partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies in Madison, but other parts of the area seeing plenty of sunshine. Winds out of the north at 13 miles per hour, still a bit breezy. Humidity 84%. Temperatures as a whole, though, still a little bit above average for what we normally see during the morning for this time of the year, but actually a bit cooler compared to yesterday. And like I mentioned, there is plenty of sunshine. This is our Queen Bee Radio Skycam from Platteville. Sunshine there, not quite as much here in Madison, but there's also plenty of sunshine for you folks up north towards La Crosse. 60s across the board for really everybody. A few locations, isolated locations, possibly in the upper 50s, but nonetheless pretty close to, if not a little bit above average for the morning time this time of the year. And looking at the temperatures for the day today, we're going to continue to see partly sunny skies. Highs will be in the middle to upper 70s to lower 80s for a few locations. So compared to yesterday, we'll see more sunshine and temperatures will be a bit warmer, but overall pretty close to average for this time of the year. Winds are going to max out at around 10 miles per hour, and a very similar forecast for you folks in La Crosse. Very quiet day and overall very quiet week. I'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Topping our news this morning, a person has been arrested following a two-vehicle traffic accident in Janesville. It happened Saturday morning. Janesville police provided an update this morning saying they're investigating the crash as a homicide by intoxicated use of a motor vehicle. They say the driver of the vehicle failed to stop at a red light on Delvin Drive, striking another vehicle traveling northbound on Beloit Avenue. Both people in the second vehicle driving north were pronounced dead on the scene. Janesville police say the driver of the first vehicle was arrested after failing field sobriety tests. The investigation is now ongoing. The Democratic National Convention will kick off in Chicago tomorrow, but there are some here in Wisconsin trying to make their voices heard beforehand. News 3 Now's Ellie Liliberte shows us what protesters are calling for ahead of this convention.
Pre-DNC protest here on Capitol grounds calls for a ceasefire and an arms embargo in Gaza. Now the message to the Democratic Party, earn our vote.
We won't stand for genocide! We won't stand for genocide!
Politicians work for us. We don't work for them.
Gathered on the steps of the Wisconsin Capitol, flags, posters, and speakers.
You will not simply get our vote under the guise of being the lesser of two evils.
If they are serious about winning the election, if they're serious about beating Donald Trump, they need to take this issue seriously.
Speaking directly to Democrats, calling for a permanent ceasefire and arms embargo in Gaza.
The time for empty promises and posturing has long passed.
In one of the most pivotal states in the presidential election, ahead of the DNC just 2 hours south in Chicago.
As Wisconsinites, we know how much the state matters.
Activists and Wisconsin delegates voicing their concerns.
I, along with other ceasefire delegates, hope to build pressure on the current administration.
Just a preview of a protest that's expected to gather thousands outside the DNC on Monday. March on the DNC, composed of nearly 100 different organizations, demands an end to U.S. aid to Israel, among other requests.
I know people who are going to participate as delegates. I know people who are going there as protesters. People who are, participating in the civic process.
Speakers also frustrated with the Harris's campaign, saying her participation in online trends is not enough to win their vote.
She's trying to appeal to young voters based on TikTok edits and Charlie XCX.
Voters are frustrated by politicians expecting us to vote for them because they say so.
Using the national attention in Chicago to amplify their voices.
We will show Democrats that they can't have our vote at the expense of the people of Palestine.
There was also a protest in Milwaukee ahead of the DNC. For now, reporting in Madison, Ellie Liliberte, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. The City of Chicago and protest organizers have gone back and forth on permits for the demonstrations. The March website states the demonstration will be held in Union Park on Monday, just a half a mile away from the DNC. Now, of course, this has echoes of past conventions held in the Windy City. It was back in 1968 when the Democrats' convention also saw massive anti-war protests. Ahead of tomorrow, News 3 Now sat down with retired Chicago alder and political science professor Dick Simpson about the parallels some are drawn between the 60s and now.
We don't expect anything nearly as raucous. We already know who the president and vice presidential candidates will be. The platform is a compromise between the various factions of the parties. So the only real issue is how well the demonstrations go and how well the cities respond to it.
Simpson says the Democratic platform is much more of a moderate and progressive platform today, saying it is very different than the one Republicans approved during the RNC in Milwaukee. You can see more from that conversation later this morning on WISC-TV at 10:30 on For the Record. Turning now to more local news, drivers who use Madison's North Lake Street will see their route altered tomorrow. The impacted area from University Avenue to Langdon Street will be down to one southbound lane as the city works on a sanitary sewer replacement project. Cars wanting to travel northbound on Lake Street from University will need to follow posted signs for an alternate route. They suggest using Park Street to Langdon Street instead. The lane closure is expected to last through August 30th. Meanwhile, the construction on North Lake Street between Johnson and University is wrapped up and two-way traffic has been restored there. Madison's Goodman Pool is back open following a multi-day closure this past week. It was on Tuesday when a guest brought a 3-inch long piece of glass in the shallow end of the pool to a lifeguard. This caused pool management to have to close the whole pool while they drained part of it just to be safe. They got the all clear to open back up Saturday morning for normal pool hours, and the pool is scheduled to officially close in just a couple of days for the season on Sunday, August 25th. Looking around the state, Milwaukee police say a 15-year-old beat a woman in a hospital parking garage and stole her car, and it's not the first time. The suspect has actually been involved in a previous carjacking, with a record showing the teen has a history of car thefts. Kendall Keyes reports.
Southbound on 15th crashed.
You're watching the end of a police chase near 15th and Burnham early Wednesday morning. Two people run from the crashed car. Greenfield police catch one person, then
Everyone's in custody.
a second arrest.
I was trying to get away.
A 15-year-old boy taken into custody.
Okay, y'all tripping, but I don't got time for this. We're tripping.
Investigators say the 15-year-old had been in a stolen car, taken in a violent carjacking at the Aurora St. Luke's employee parking structure near 29th and Dakota the morning before. These still photos police say show the teen beating a 75-year-old woman in scrubs before stealing her gray Honda Accord.
Husband comes back to a vehicle taken in the carjacking.
Court documents say the 15-year-old confessed, stating, "I seen her, she's old, there's a car, I know I can take it." That wouldn't be the first time investigators say the teen stole a car. 12 News investigates obtaining Greenfield Police dash camera video from October 2022. Police say the same teen had been a passenger in a stolen white Kia, seen driving on the wrong side of Loomis Road away from officers. Then in 2023, prosecutors say he stole another car, this time in the village of Dousman, after running away from Ladd Lake, the youth correctional facility he was placed in. The teen had been on probation at the time of this week's alleged crimes.
No way I'm getting away, because look how many y'all is.
He appeared in juvenile court via Zoom Thursday, where a court commissioner ordered he remain in custody.
He was already on a GPS monitor out in the community. He is alleged to have cut the GPS monitor off. The only appropriate placement at this time is secure detention.
That's Kendall Keyes reporting. Additionally, prosecutors are asking the judge that the case be moved to adult court. Coming up on 7:40, still ahead here on weekend mornings, a unique sight in Appleton with teams pulling a jet airplane. That's next.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC help you find your inspiration and transform your room. Every style, every budget, our creativity, passion, and expertise will help you design your dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
I became a nurse to make lives better. Today,
That's hard to do because of the open border. I've seen firsthand the damage that Kamala Harris caused as our country's borders are. Hospitals everywhere are overwhelmed, and American patients are paying the price. My patients are covering the healthcare costs for people here illegally while their own care is jeopardized. Kamala Harris is weak and dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
I love the co-op because of the good food and it supports the community.
I love the fresh produce, coffee at the juice bar for while I'm shopping, and the large selection of bulk products.
I think the prices are great.
I love the co-op because they make healthy food affordable for people.
I love the people who work here and the people who shop here.
The vibe is great, and they have fun cooking classes for kids.
I love the co-op. I come here almost every day.
It's kind of my mini vacation going there.
A little help here?
Oh, keep it down. The noise is making them angry.
Right now, buy one window and you'll get one free. Plus, no interest until 2026.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Owning my own home is nice. You can just come home knowing that it's yours. It's a sense of pride, sense of ownership, and enjoying it with everyone I love and care for.
Make a lasting impact on local families in need. Please donate today.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC turn your design dreams into reality. With customized solutions and quality products, our passion and expertise will help turn your room into a dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Welcome back now. Taking a live look in La Crosse this morning, downtown there. Looks like got some sun coming up already. Looks like some clouds as well. We do want to say good morning to everyone watching, though, in the Coulee region. Jacob, we are going to be expecting a lot more sun today, and that, like we were saying earlier in this show, I mean, we can't get away from the rain this summer, and we've hit now 2 weekends in a row where we had some pretty good weather overall, where people haven't had to worry too much.
Yeah, and that's going to continue for the upcoming week. Now, unfortunately, the one negative is you won't see a lot of rainbows like you're seeing in this water photo that we're showing the viewers. This was sent in by Julie from Freedom. So thank you, Julie, for submitting your photos. We are going to see plenty of sunshine, but you kind of need some moisture to see the rainbows. Not going to see a lot of it this week. And if you'd like to submit your own photo, you can through our QR code in the top left of the screen. But if you can't get to it at the moment, there is another way to submit your weather photo. Here's how you do it. You can go through our website, channel3000.com. Click on the weather tab, scroll down past the 10-day forecast until you see post your own, then give us your name and location, and we may feature your weather photo. You folks have been awesome with your photo submission. Keep up the great work. Thank you guys so much for submitting your photos.
Quickly, Jacob, how is cloud cover going to be looking tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night we are going to be very clear, especially into the morning hours. We may see some cloud cover in the evening, but by early morning we'll be clear.
Well, good news, because I wanted to ask about that because our next story here, good time to remind folks to look up to the sky tomorrow. The next full moon will happen Monday afternoon, and will look full for 3 whole days, and that is more that this moon will also be a supermoon and a blue moon. The moon, of course, won't be the color blue. It's just the name given to the 3rd full moon in a season with 4 full moons. Nevertheless, gives some good views to check out tomorrow. Now here's a story you don't see every day. For 15 years, a group of volunteers in Appleton have helped honor the service of local veterans, arranging for veterans to fly to Washington, D.C. to visit monuments that pay tribute to their service. Yesterday, dozens of people participated in a major fundraiser to help benefit the Old Glory Honor Flights Groups of about 20 people each worked together to pull a FedEx cargo plane, competing to see which one could be the fastest to pull the plane 12 feet. Each team had to donate a minimum of $1,500 to join, and in total about 600 people watched the event unfold at the Appleton Flight Center. Participants say it was a great way to show their appreciation for the region's veterans, and certainly something you don't see someone pulling a plane. My goodness, that's crazy. Well, still ahead, Andrew will check in with the morning sports report, and let's take a live look again outside of the Capitol building this morning here in Madison. Jacob is back with the full forecast next on Weekend Mornings.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Get an 11% rebate on everything now at Menards. We carry the largest selection of garage doors in stock, or you can design your own using our garage door design program. This 9x7 garage door is only $399.99 after rebate. Get superior engine protection with Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic Motor Oil. It helps maintain fuel efficiency and provides advanced protection from wear, friction, heat, and deposits. A 5-quart jug is $21.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Kamala Harris has taken on gang members to get justice for victims, taken on big banks to pay back people they ripped off, taken on drug companies to cap insulin at $35. Now she's running to take on greedy corporations who jack up prices to lower everyday costs for working families. They're spending millions on ads attacking her because she'd be a president who fights for you. FF PAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
This summer, feel confident from head to toe with Sono Bello Permanent Fat Removal and get summer body ready in just one visit.
I saw the results immediately. It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sono Bello's biggest sale of the year. Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It will change your life. It did for me.
I can't wait till the summertime hit. Hot Mom Summer, here I come.
Call 1-800-905-6520 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
Hi there. Brad Beasley and my daughter Marlena here for Tundraland.
It's back to school time, and together we can help Wisconsin kids in need.
We call it Bath to Backpack.
With your help, Tundraland will donate 1 backpack full of school supplies to a local student for every appointment this month.
And for a limited time, you get free installation, no payments for a full year, and free upgraded fixtures.
We all win.
Call 1-800-TUNDRALAND or go to tundraland.com today.
800-TUNDRALAND. Tundraland.com.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Good morning, everybody. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know for today and the rest of the week. We really aren't going to see much rainfall this week. We may not see any by this time next week. And as we get into the middle of the week, temperatures are going to cool down, but they are going to warm back up for next weekend, so temperatures will kind of be a little bit below and above average over the next 10 days. So looking at the forecast for today, upper 70s, lower 80s. We'll see partly sunny to mostly sunny skies, so temperatures will be a bit warmer compared to yesterday, but we also are going to see more sunshine. Overnight, as I mentioned, we'll see clear skies with lows dropping into the upper 50s, so a little bit cooler compared to this morning and yesterday morning. And then as we get into the daytime on Monday, temperatures will be a little bit cooler compared to today. We'll have highs in the 70s for Madison, also 70s, especially if you get closer to Lake Michigan. But the further northwest you're located up near La Crosse and Eau Claire, you folks may still see highs near 80, but we still are expecting dry conditions. Now, speaking of the dry conditions, I'm just going to let Future forecasts go throughout this entire week to show you that we're going to be dry for pretty much the entire week. As we head into Monday, Tuesday, we're going to continue to see partly sunny to mostly sunny skies. That's going to be the core forecast for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as well. You know, we'll see on and off cloud cover, and we can't completely rule out an isolated shower, but we certainly aren't expecting any consistent rain until maybe Saturday morning, where we could see a line of showers between La Crosse and Madison, but that is expected to be pretty light and also very brief. So by Saturday afternoon, we may be dry again. So looking at the precipitation totals that we're expecting over the next 7 days, we may see 0 for Madison, maybe a little bit in La Crosse and Eau Claire, but still only expecting 1/10 of an inch to a 1/4 of an inch at most. And as you can see, this is pretty widespread. A lot of the area not expecting too much rainfall. You know, even when you see the green areas, that's only talking about 1/10 of an inch at most. So not just us, but a lot of the area going to remain dry, and that's going to continue even beyond the 7-day forecast. As we look at the 6 to 10-day outlook, looks like dry conditions are going to remain across the Great Lakes and really the entire eastern half of the United States, with the exception of areas closer to Florida. Now, as we look at the temperature forecast, 70s are in the forecast for Monday through Thursday. Tuesday and Wednesday will be in the middle to lower 70s for highs, and overnight lows may be in the upper 40s for a few locations. So it will be a rather chilly overnight hours, but during the daytime, it's going to be very comfortable. By next weekend, we are going to see temperatures a little bit warmer. Highs will be in the middle to upper 80s. Likely going to stay in the 80s in Madison, but for those of you in La Crosse, could possibly hit 90 at times as the air will be a bit drier. So warmer temperatures are in the forecast for then, but as you notice, we still are expecting mostly dry conditions. A slight chance of rain Saturday morning, as I mentioned, but we're not expecting too much rainfall. So overall, very dry, cooler for this week, a little bit warmer for next weekend.
After 2 weeks in Platteville and another week back here in Madison, fall camp is starting to wind down for Wisconsin football for the most part. Less than 2 weeks out from their Week 1 matchup with Western Michigan, Wisconsin is shifting away from live action practice and shifting to a more mental approach, getting their bodies and minds right for a long season ahead.
This was probably one of the last days where we could really, truly kind of get after it in a way that we would like to before we find out on the 30th what we really got. So it doesn't mean we're done. It doesn't mean camp is over. I mean, there's a different mode here as we move forward. I think we're in a really good place. I think that it's a little bit unique now to say, okay, we got to continue to work. We got to continue to do the things we need to do, but we also need to get ourselves healthy. We need to try to find a way to get our legs and our minds back.
To the NFL preseason, where Muma Jungmeta has been eating. After going undrafted out of Wisconsin, the Bengals picked him up as an undrafted free agent, and he may just be there to stay. His 10 tackles led Cincy in Week 1 of the preseason, and yesterday in Week 2, he collected another 8 tackles, again leading the team. As for the Packers, ahead of their second preseason game, which is tonight, they got to Denver a few days earlier to join the Broncos in a joint practice. As you can imagine, when you're practicing against your own team every single day, not only can things get mundane, but also you can fall into bad habits. The Pack say practicing with the Broncos helped them get more into season mode, just like today's game will.
Facing another team allows you to kind of see where your confidence levels are, you know, kind of see how you can gauge your opponent. And it's also somebody else to go against, you know, instead of going against our offense every day.
Some other faces, going up against some good competition, you know, always want to do your best against, you know, somebody else after seeing your same offense for a long time. So it was fun, being able to just run around, see a different look, and make plays.
And we end with this. Patrick Mahomes in NFL preseason action yesterday. He's just doing his thing. A behind-the-back pass to Travis Kelce. Are you kidding me? Afterwards, Mahomes says that Kelce ran the wrong route, so out of spite, he threw it behind his back to him. And we'll just come right back out on camera to talk to you about the final block. That is your morning sports fix. The Brewers won last night, by the way, but for now, we tell you to have a wonderful end to your weekend.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
It's not an I thing, Dad. It's a we thing.
Yeah, but I ordered it online. I did the taking. I did the baking.
There's no I in team, honey. There is an I in pizza.
This summer, get select thin crust pizzas for only $8.99. Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza so you can can make the pizza great.
Such a great deal.
$8.99 for a large pizza? That is a great deal.
Many families have said to me, I didn't know what I didn't know about the process of having a child with special health care needs.
You don't know what questions to ask.
If I had a toll-free number to call, I think that would have helped.
Wisconsin Wayfinder is a great resource. It's one place to find out about all the information that you need.
Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network, connecting families to the special healthcare resources their children need.
Hanson's knows that your home is a place of comfort and protection. That's why our durable, energy-efficient, and weather-resistant windows, roofing, siding, and gutters, as well as our bathtubs and showers, are guaranteed. With 35 years' experience and thousands of five-star reviews, we're your trusted home improvement expert. Get 50% off installation or enjoy no interest, no payments for 1 year.
Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
Your best night's sleep starts on a new Beauty Rest from Steinhafels. Save up to $1,000 on Beauty Rest adjustable base sets. Queen mattresses start at $399. Upgrade your sleep to the luxury and comfort of the Beauty Rest Black and get up to $300 in Steinhafels cash. Beauty Rest Black Queen mattresses start at only $36 per month when you use Steinhafels 60-month financing. Sleep better tonight on a new Beauty Rest. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
The burn pit at our base in Iraq had just shut down, but the poisons were around us everywhere. Back home, I got diagnosed with cancer, but the VA denied coverage to a lot of us who got sick. Tammy Baldwin knew that was wrong, and she wasn't going to let that stand. She worked with both parties to pass a law. So now, thousands of us exposed to toxic chemicals are getting the care that we deserve. It took a fight, but Tammy Baldwin, she's a hell of a fighter.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message. Chicago hosts the Democratic National Convention, and News 3 Now will be there. We'll bring you live team coverage all week as the Democratic Party takes center stage in the Windy City, rallying around their presidential ticket. Plus, we'll talk to delegates about the issues that matter most to voters here in Wisconsin. Campaign 2024 coverage live from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Starting Monday on News 3 Now, moving forward.
Jacob's final check of the forecast is now.
Yeah, we're not going to see much over the next 7 to 10 days. We'll see mostly sunny to partly sunny skies pretty much each day. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler for the middle of the week, but still mild, as highs will be in the 70s. For Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And this is just for La Crosse. Temperatures will be a bit cooler during the daytime in Madison. But by next weekend, we also are going to see the temperatures as a whole warm up with upper 80s, possibly even lower 90s for a few locations. Madison should stay in the 80s during that time, but still going to see warmer temperatures nonetheless, but also going to remain fairly dry. A little bit of an increase in the rain chances Saturday, Sunday, but we're still expecting not a lot of rainfall as we'll continue to be mostly dry.
All right, thank you, Jacob. Thank you all for watching. Have a great Sunday, folks.